Hey everyone, welcome to the September edition of Movie of the Month, or should I say Movies of the Month. That's right, we're going to do more than one. We're actually going to do three. And these are three movies that I believe you will enjoy, especially during the rest of September as we begin the fall season starting next week. The first movie is a very creative movie and very unique in the way it's presented. As a matter of fact, if you want another person's opinion, check out Doug Walker's Nostalgia Critical review of it, and I'm talking about MoonWalker. Well, maybe the picture already tells you what it is. But anyway, yes, I'm talking about Michael Jackson's MoonWalker. Now, I'm pretty sure you realize that this is not the first time Michael's been in a theatrical film. The first time was in the 1970s, early 80s Motown adaptation of The Wiz. And then after that, he starred in the Disney Parks exclusive short film known as Captain EO. And then, of course, that all led to him doing MoonWalker later on. And this is a very unique film because it's basically like a tale of two movies within one. You got like a compilation movie, a variety movie, if you will, for the first half. And then you got a steady, ongoing storyline for the second half. It's very unique, very, I wouldn't say very complex, but it's very... It's very intriguing to the point that it takes more than probably just one viewing to take it all in. It's one of those kind of films. It's basically known as an artistic film because, like I said, it's split into two different sections. You have a compilation film, which has shorts, it has music videos, and then you have the storyline for the second half, which is synonymous for introducing us to Smooth Criminal in the music video / short movie that comes out of that is seen in rotation on MTV back in the 80s and 90s, and now you could see anytime you want on the Michael Jackson YouTube page. But again, what I'm getting at, it's just one of those kind of artistic films that's unique and intriguing and full of variety and a lot of WTF moments at times, if you will, that, like I said, it takes more than one sitting to really take it all in. So if you need a movie that's going to really get your brain going, especially as you enter into the fall season and we enter into that full official return to schools and thinking about what our next step is in life and stuff. And I know that sounds strange when it comes to talking about this movie, but this movie basically is one of those kind of films that if you need something that's going to get your brain working and get it, jump started, if you need to plan out, future plans in the future, MoonWalker is that kind of film. Now, can you see it online? Absolutely. There's various places that it's online. Torrents, you can find BitTorrents, if you will. You can find it there. You can find it at various social media sites like, Dailymotion. I'm pretty sure you can find it at Vimeo. I think you can find it right here on the YT. There are various, areas where you can find this. I think you can even find it on iTunes and maybe even Amazon Prime, but I'm not really sure. But yeah, MoonWalker, the first of three movies for the September edition of Movie or Movies of the Month. And now, on to number two. Now, you might say I'm cheating a little bit with this one, but number two to me is what I consider something that should have been presented as a movie, or at least a made-for-TV movie finale for the series, and that is what I call the Doomsday Project movie, a.k.a. the Doomsday Project Saga, a.k.a. the final 4 episodes of Sonic SatAM Season 2 and the series as a whole. Now, the reason I say that this could have been presented as a movie is basically the way it feels like it shows. It feels like it What I'm trying to say is the reason I say this is like a movie is basically because of the way it feels like it is and how it's presented. I mean, basically each episode, if you take out the intro, you take out the title card, and you basically fade in to that episode right off the bat. You basically fade out from the end of one episode, and you kind of put the end credits aside and all that, and the outro aside, and you just go from the end of one episode by fading to black and then fading in from black at the beginning of the next episode, without, like I said, the intro and the title card, and it feels like it's a movie that seemingly connects, or it feels like a story that seemingly connects one scene, one act to another. And that's basically what the Doomsday Project movie / saga, the final 4 episodes, feels like to me. It feels like basically a feature film, a made-for-television feature film that could have been easily presented perhaps around Thanksgiving time. I've always had this thought process in my mind that Thanksgiving would have been the best time to show, these final 4 episodes of Sonic SatAM, especially if you knew internally that it was going to be the final 4 episodes officially of the series. I would have, at ABC and at Dick Entertainment, as well as Saga of America, I would have came up with a scenario to have it presented and featured as a made-for-television movie finale that would have been aired during Thanksgiving weekend, maybe during the TGIF time slot on ABC. Because, as I've mentioned before in the past, I've actually, and it took me several attempts to do it correctly, but when I finally was able to do it, all I did was basically do the beginning of Doomsday Project, the episode, the intro, and the title card. And then when it faded from the title card that says Doomsday Project, I paused it, went back to Cry of the Wolf, let the intro and the title card play, and as soon as that faded to black, then I unpaused it, so it feels like you're actually beginning the movie. Because you are beginning with Cry of the Wolf, but it feels like it's a movie as a whole. And I repeated the process, along with the other episodes. As soon as Cry of the Wolf ended, I paused it after it faded to black before it could go into the end credits. And then, after the intro and the title card for Druid Hedge, and it faded to black, I unpaused it as it faded in from black to the beginning of the episode. And I rinsed and repeated with Spy Hog, and I rinsed and repeated with, of course, Doomsday Project. And when I watched it all back after it was all said and done, it felt like a seamlessly put together film. It felt like a very seamlessly put together film that could have easily, in my opinion, been presented as a made-for-television movie, on ABC. It felt that way. It really did, in my opinion. Which is why, even though some of you may say I'm cheating here, this is why basically though, I'm choosing Sonic SatAM's Doomsday Project Saga / Doomsday Project movie, the final 4 episodes, as the second movie of the month for September 2020, because you also got to remember this year marks the 25th anniversary since the series officially ended. So in my opinion, it only makes sense that we include basically what I would consider, if it was done this way, the movie finale to Sonic SatAM, basically the final 4 episodes. And honestly, like I said, it works like a movie. It feels that when you play it the way I basically put it together, it feels like it's a movie. And what really makes it feel more like that is the fact that even though it's 2 episodes before, because we have to have, I don't know whose idea it was to come up with these 2 11-minute basically 11-minute short episodes they did in between. They were basically Antoine comedy shorts, if you will. But basically, 2 episodes prior to Cry of the Wolf, you have The Void. You have the prelude to the Doomsday Project saga. You have the prelude to the Doomsday Project movie. Because in this episode, you find out about it. Sally finally gets the list of freedom fighters that Sonic was told about by Ari, who they also get back, who's a new character in season 2. Overall, basically, you add the Void in as basically like a prelude, a prologue, if you will, to what's going to be. And to me, it works. It comes together seamlessly and perfectly. So in my opinion, Doomsday Project, the final 4 episodes, the Doomsday Project movie, the Doomsday Project saga, again, I know you may say I'm cheating, but to me, I will elect for the second movie of the September's movie of the month. But now, it's time to find out what the 3rd movie of the month for September will be. The 3rd and final movie for September 2020 is actually going to be celebrating 3 years this October, actually, next month to be exact, in a few weeks. And that is the 2017 My Little Pony the movie. That's right, the 2017 My Little Pony movie is the 3rd and final selection for the movies of the month. Not movie, but movies of the month for September 2020. And the reason I picked this is mainly because, no matter how many times you go back and watch it, even if it's by, clips or scenes or whatever, to me it is still a very good film. There's no doubt about it. I mean, I know some people feel that it could have done better in certain areas, like animation-wise or whatever, but I thought overall it did very well. I mean, the animation didn't really bother me at times because basically, they did what they could and it felt like it flowed seamlessly together. I mean, obviously you have to have a very keen eye to notice some of the problems, but overall, if you ignore those problems, it's a very enjoyable film. Now, of course, I also know one of the other problems people have with it, and I've addressed this, is it feels like it's a movie that should be taking place between seasons 4 and 5, or at least seasons 4, 5, and 6, not 7 and 8. And that is true. That is definitely true, but when this movie was being created and written and developed, it was being done around the time of season 4 and 5 and 6. So they only knew the characteristics of the characters at that time, and they went with that instead of just trying to progress on what they could have figured out the characters would have turned out to be later on. I know it sounds a little confusing for me to say, but you kind of get what I'm talking about. But overall, besides that, if you ignore any of the negativity, which was very little negativity coming out of this, it's an overall enjoyable film. Like I said, the only knock people would give to it is it feels like it's, from a continuity standpoint, it feels out of place. It feels like it should be taking place between seasons 4 and 6 and not 7 and 8. And I do agree with that. But like I said, they were working on it during those seasons, so they couldn't just, basically release it at that time when it was just barely starting. But overall, this movie I thought was great. I thought it was good. And, they did what they could. I mean, yes, you can obviously tell where they added in certain characters and scenes and all that, and that's fine. That's not a problem. But overall, I thought it was good. I thought it was very well done, and it's an enjoyable film, no matter, how you feel about it. It's very enjoyable to watch. And now you can watch it basically at any time. Yes, if you have the movie, you could watch it at any time. If you have the digital code, obviously you have it on your, Vudu or your Movies Anywhere account or your Amazon Prime account. Or if you have Freeform, the former ABC family, basically you could watch it on there as well, especially on demand. So overall, ladies and gentlemen, My Little Pony the movie, the 2017 film, it's a great film to me, and definitely as we'll get into the fall season, I think it's a good time to go back and rewatch it as much as you can if you have any time, because it is an enjoyable film. And we need a film right now, ladies and gentlemen, that, like My Little Pony, can really give us all pick-me-up, especially during this time that we're going through. So, for the third and final choice of movies of the month for September 2020, I choose My Little Pony the movie 2017. And overall, that's going to do it for the September edition of Movies of the Month. Hope you guys all enjoyed it. Again, the movies of the month are indeed MoonWalker, Michael Jackson's MoonWalker, the Sonic SatAM finale known as the Doomsday Project Saga /movie /Final 4 episodes, and of course, to round it all out, the 2017 My Little Pony movie. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you all think down below, and I will see you with this, and this series itself will see you next month for the October edition of Movie of the Month.